Tammy mentioned disturbing news a little while ago that there's a daycare center also in that building, 30 children in that building. Here's the video of the federal building in downtown Oklahoma City. Just unbelievable. The northern third of it is gone. You can see offices exposed. How many people were working in those offices, we don't know, but many are hurt. I had a call from a doctor friend of mine a little while ago. He is on his way downtown. If you are a physician, if you can provide some sort of medical help down there, you are needed. That's the Alfred Murrah building in downtown Oklahoma City. It may be some time before we know how many people are hurt. Let's go to a live picture right now and show you what the situation is in downtown Oklahoma City, if we can pull that picture up. Having some difficulty with it. Folks, if you are thinking about going to downtown Oklahoma City and looking at this thing, you're not going to get anywhere close to it. They don't need your help down there right now. They don't need you in the area. Stay with us here on Newsline 9, and we're going to bring you the latest video, the first video you're going to see from the scene. I already have. And area hospitals are certainly going to be crowded this afternoon, especially those in the downtown area. You can see the smoke is pretty much cleared in downtown Oklahoma City. About 9 o'clock, I was 10 miles north of downtown Oklahoma City, felt the concussion of the explosion, knew immediately that it was not something that was planned. It was much too powerful. Looked to the north to downtown, or to the south to downtown Oklahoma City, and I saw the plume of smoke. Tammy, I was much further north than you were, but I could feel the concussion just as you could here in the newsroom.
I tell you what, I mean, I was on the phone with John Hanson, one of the fire chiefs in town here this morning. He said there's been an explosion in Oklahoma City, and the minute he said it, I felt a blast that shook this building and the ground under my feet. It was absolutely incredible. You were 10 miles away, we were 5 miles away, and we've had calls from cities all around this area. Let me pass along to you, we think this is very important. Please do not get on the phone in Oklahoma City because phone lines are busy, only emergency calls, and here's a call we'd like for you to make if you can. Red Cross officials are asking us to ask you to please call if you can volunteer, and here's the number, 232-7121 for Red Cross volunteers, 231-7121. And Kelly, as you mentioned, it is correct, St. Anthony's Hospital needing any type of medical professional help. If you are a medical professional who can get away right now, St. Anthony's Hospital would like to hear from you.
Tammy, certainly a lot of people here in the metro area have friends or loved ones who work in that building. It may be some time before we are provided with information on what has happened to all those people. We're looking at video from a victim there. We don't know if they were in the Alfred Murrah building or not, but those are some of the people who were in the downtown area this morning when the Alfred Murrah building was just blown apart by some sort of explosion. We are also being told at this hour the FBI offices at 50 Penn Place, several miles from downtown, are being evacuated right now. The FBI offices in 50 Penn Place are being evacuated. I would say it would be a good possibility that other offices at 50 Penn Place would be evacuated also. There was some sort of bomb threat received by the FBI about a week ago. That's all we know at this point. We don't know anything more about it. Again, it is too early to say that this was a bomb, but certainly victims at the scene have described it as a bomb-like explosion. And we've had some callers call in and point out that this is the second anniversary of the fire and the Holocaust down at Waco at Mount Carmel, where David Koresh and his followers were held up. This is more of the scene video. You can see windows blown out there in the background. Certainly there's a raging fire from just a little while ago. That is the north side of the Alfred Murrah building, in a parking lot that is just to the north of it. That is the whole north side of the building. If you can look to the left side of the picture, you can see it is gone. It is absolutely gone. The debris is scattered throughout the northern part of the downtown district. We heard from some people in offices 3 and 4 blocks away. 3 and 4 blocks away from this building said their windows blew out. They thought the explosion was in their building, when in fact it was actually 3 or 4 blocks away, Tammy.
Kelly, we're getting some really bad news just in from Heidi Browning on the scene. Children at this hour are being pulled out of the Alfred Murrah building. We have not confirmed the severity of their injuries or whether there are fatalities, including children. But Heidi Browning just reporting to us children being pulled out of the Alfred Murrah building because there's a daycare center. We spoke earlier with an employee who used to work at that building. He's very familiar with the offices and the daycare center there. There was a daycare center on the second floor, and as you can see by the pictures, it doesn't matter what floor you were on, the building was literally almost blown to bits. So children being pulled out of the building right now. We're getting word of ambulances backed up, one behind the other, taking injured individuals from downtown Oklahoma City to hospitals around the area.
Tammy, on that note, let me say that Oklahoma Memorial Hospital, which is just to the east of downtown Oklahoma City, has gone code black, which means they can take no more patients. If you are a medical expert, please contact St. Anthony Hospital. Let's go to Newsline 9's Randy Renner right now, who is down at the scene. Randy?
Kelly, obviously a scene of mass devastation, confusion. You see ambulances now lining up over here to take the injured to hospitals all across the Oklahoma City metropolitan area, and perhaps other places as well. Numerous injuries. Heidi was talking about injured children. There have been, I have seen several injured children. We talked to a man just a few minutes ago, perhaps you saw a little earlier when we came live to downtown, who had been rescuing children and bringing them over to this command type center that's been set up. There are also several people downtown who have been volunteering their cars, their pickups, anything to take the injured to hospitals. Obviously, all the hospitals in the Oklahoma City area are going to be full to overflowing with this tragedy. Again, the windows in all of these buildings downtown, at least all the ones that we can see, have been blown out, and people still walking around dazed, confused, many of them bloodied. Smoke still rising from the rubble of the Alfred Murrah building, which appears to be at least a third, maybe a half of it gone.
Randy,
from top to bottom.
Randy,
Kelly?
can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
We keep hearing about people being brought out of the building. Are they being brought out of the north side, the south side? How are they getting out of the building? The north side looks like it's all but gone.
The north side is all but gone, Kelly, and frankly, we were moved back about a block because fire and police officials were concerned that there would be another explosion. So they moved us back, and from our vantage point, a block or so away, trees in the way, I can't see anyone being brought out of the Murrah building, at least on the north side. All of the injured that we've talked to around here have been coming from the other buildings, Southwestern Bell, the Journal Record building. I'm not sure what this was here, but many of the buildings downtown, at least windows have been blown out. Windows in the Southwestern Bell building, windows from top to bottom have been blown out. As Barry Levy shows you there, you can see pieces of metal flapping in the breeze. It's an incredible sight here in downtown Oklahoma City, and I don't know if you can, on back towards town, all the buildings, many of the buildings I can see down there appear to have windows broken. Here comes another person being taken from perhaps the Murrah building. We're not sure. This is kind of the command post area where many of the ambulances have been set up. They're lined up about a city block, too deep, a city block all the way back. It's an incredible scene.
Randy,
downtown,
you talked about the Southwestern Bell building. We want to make a couple of other notes, but I would like you to stay with us here for just a second. We do have reports that many people are trapped in the building. They're trying to get to those people. Also, if you have a cellular phone, please stay off of it. Randy, you mentioned the Southwestern Bell building. What is amazing about those windows being blown out to me is that the Journal Record building stands between those two buildings.
Indeed it does. The Journal Record building, I can't see on the south side of the Journal Record building, but I would guess there is some pretty heavy structural damage on the south side of the Journal Record building. The windows that we see on the east side and the north side of the Journal Record building blown out. The windows, as we said, on the Southwestern Bell building blown out. The windows on the Anthony's building, which is a block back that way, the old Anthony's building, all those windows blown out. Glass has been falling from the various windows down to the street, so people have been asked to move back. There's concern for secondary explosions as the fires burn in the cars in the parking lots. It's just an amazing situation down here, Kelly.
Randy, we'll just hold with the shot there for a second. I don't know who your photographer is, but if you can see the buildings back. That's the Fidelity building, I believe, back on down the street. That is a couple of blocks away.
Yes.
From the federal building, right, Randy?
Yes, it is. And Barry, by the way, Barry can't hear what you're saying, Kelly, so I'll kind of relay to him. Barry, if you would show us the Fidelity building the tall one down there. You can see the windows, the various windows blown out of the Fidelity building all the way up to the top. It's that sort of situation all over downtown Oklahoma City, Kelly.
Well, and that's, I know we've got some people who are injured from those situations too. So flying glass in other buildings.
Yeah, in fact, that has been was a big problem downtown, because obviously as soon as the explosion occurred in the Murrah building, the shock waves shattered windows all over the downtown area. People inside these offices, we've talked to several people, the windows just came collapsing in on them, and they were cut quite severely with broken glass. Then people walking along the streets of downtown Oklahoma City, glass began falling from the skyscrapers, and that's how they were injured. Some people were just blown over by the shock wave of the explosion. So various injuries of all different types caused by many different things.
Okay, Randy, you know, something that has been on a lot of people's minds, certainly many of us have friends, relatives who work in those buildings. We're going to try to give you the latest information on injuries and whatever else we can out of there. Right now, it's just not coming out. They're just trying to rescue people at this point. We will keep you updated on that. Our thoughts are with all of those families out there. Stay with us, and we'll give you the latest information. This is tax time. A lot of people are wondering if this could have been IRS related. The IRS is not in this building. The IRS is in a building several blocks to the south. Tammy, but there are several federal agencies that operate in that building, many.
Absolutely. And Kelly, you know, we talked earlier about how the FBI received a threat last week, a bomb threat. That's one of the things we have been able to confirm, that they got a threat. Well, this is how seriously they are taking it. We're just getting word that FBI offices at 50 Penn Place are being evacuated as a precaution, obviously in light of this explosion and a bomb threat. Again, we haven't confirmed it is a bomb, but because of the threat, FBI offices are being evacuated at 50 Penn Place at this hour. Can we put the Red Cross phone number up real quick? We've had a lot of calls of individuals, we're glad to say, who want to help and volunteer and help the Red Cross. That number, 232-7121. Kelly.
Tammy, right now we want to go, of course, downtown hospitals. Hospitals over the metro are very busy right now. Newsline 9's Angela Buckaloo is at St. Anthony's Hospital, as we understand right now. Angela?
Kelly, I'm at St. Anthony's Hospital, and I can tell you since the minute we got here, people have been pulling in, dropping people off, and going back to the scene. And not just ambulances, anybody. We've seen trucks come by. We've seen just people wander up, all bloody. One thing, all bloody. Head and body injuries. It looks like they have activated the disaster plan here at St. Anthony's Hospital. They're calling for nurses and doctors. You can see as they get people in, they run out to them, grab them, and pull them into the ER. It is quite hectic here. They're just trying to keep it together. We have not had any reports of fatalities at this point. Definitely, like I said, plenty of injuries, all bloody, all head and body injuries, and we have seen a few children come in to St. Anthony's ER. Kelly?
Okay, Angela, we are concerned certainly about everyone in the building, but we have heard reports that there's a daycare center in that building. We're looking at video of some of the victims in that area, maybe not even out of that building, but just in the area, looking at the devastation. It is stunning. It just takes you back. You have to catch your breath after looking at it.
You see the number there on the screen for Red Cross volunteers. They need help. Southwestern Bell also urging us to pass to you. Please do not use cell phones or make any kind of phone call in Oklahoma City unless it is an emergency, because emergencies calls, some of them are not getting through, and this is a tragedy downtown. Time is of the essence for some of these individuals who are injured, because we're getting word they are covered from head to toe, some of them with blood. It is a travesty, so please keep all lines open unless you have an emergency call to make. Kelly?
I know a lot of people are just now getting around television sets. The word is starting to get out fairly rapidly. This is a live picture from St. Anthony Hospital. If we can we switch back to a picture of the devastation or some tape to show people what has happened this morning in downtown Oklahoma City? A tragedy like this, Oklahoma City has not seen in many decades. Some sort of explosion has ripped through the Alfred Murrah building in downtown Oklahoma City. That is the federal building that houses many federal offices, and about a third, the northern third of the building, is gone. It happened at about 9 o'clock this morning. If you were anywhere in the metro area, let's see if we can go ahead and get back to the shot. We're looking at some of the surrounding buildings and some of their damage, but if we can get a shot, here we go. There's the YMCA, which is just to the east of the Alfred Murrah building. You can see the smoke. That tan building in the center of your screen is the Alfred Murrah building. From that angle, it is difficult to tell what has happened. In a moment, we will show you, and you will be awestruck by the devastation of this blast. There are offices in that building completely exposed from top to bottom. It is, I believe, a 9-story building, and the northern third of the building is absolutely gone.
And Kelly, we're talking about a 9-story building, so we're talking about hundreds of people possibly inside at the time of the blast, and this makes the news even worse. It is a building with tunnels underneath, and it is my understanding people at this hour are literally trapped in a building at the Alfred Murrah building in downtown Oklahoma City.
We saw video earlier on, Tammy, of cars on the street on fire. You're looking at live video from downtown right now. Sheriff's officers, Oklahoma City Police, just trying to make some sense of the chaos. Please, we would ask you again, stay out of that area if you can. Stay off your cellular phones. The rescue units down there need those cells so that they can make the calls they need to make. Please, if you're in the metro area, just do not make a cellular call for the next several hours. We want to show you right now some of the offices, a list of the offices that work in that building. The Federal Employees Credit Union, Jerry's Place. We're not sure what that is at this point. It could be a restaurant. We do know there is a daycare in that building. Could be that. U.S. Army Recruiting, the U.S. Army Advertising Agency, USA Recruiting, U.S. Department of Defense is there, Government Action, Government Department of Agriculture. These are federal offices. The Government Department of Health and Human Services. There are more. We know that HUD has some offices, Housing and Urban Development, in that building. There are just many, many people who work there. There are chances that people could have gone down there to pick up Social Security checks, Social Security cards, all sorts of things that the public goes in and out of. It is a much busier building than the federal courthouse building, which sits to the south, that was also damaged, but mainly by the concussion of the blast inside the Alfred Murrah building.
And Kelly, we can't stress enough, we are staying with you folks at home until we get information on not what only caused this blast at the Alfred Murrah building, but also injuries. We hope not, but we think it's possible there are fatalities, and we will stay with you and get you names as soon as we get them and the severity of this blast, how many were injured. We have crews working on the ground as we speak, gathering information, so stay with us and we will keep you. You'll get as much information here as you would going downtown, and that would be a mistake right now because they need, it is chaos down there, as Randy and Heidi have described. You can see it there with the picture, so please stay with us. We are working as hard and fast as we can to get you information about family and friends you may have downtown right now.
We're trying to show some video right now, having a little bit of difficulty with it, but this is video from St. Anthony Hospital if we can get it locked up in our machines. Many people are being taken to St. Anthony Hospital. Oklahoma Memorial Hospital to the east is on code black, which means they can handle no more patients. They're being taken to St. Anthony Hospital right now. If you're a medical expert, they could use your help. Tammy, you have the Red Cross number. That might be a good clearinghouse for medical experts to call at this point.
We absolutely do. Let's take a look at this number right now. And I've just gotten word as well that if you want to help, you could go to Red Cross centers, and then individuals, volunteers will be dispersed from there. So head to the Red Cross centers if you know where they are. If you don't and you want to volunteer, they need you at 232-7121. Some hospitals have ambulances backed up, one after another because there are so many injured. More individuals are being wheeled into hospitals. They're being brought out of the building because there were actually people trapped. If you're just joining us, we're talking about the Alfred Murrah building. The side of the building blown off today.